Hi, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new around here, welcome. I am Lucy, welcome to Dear Beautiful. Today's video is going to be my 24-week pregnancy update. Okay, so 24 weeks on paper doesn't sound massively exciting, does it? It doesn't have that kind of like excitement of 20 weeks when you're halfway, or that whole 28 weeks when you hit the third trimester. It's just kind of this like meh week. But for me, and for anybody else who is 24 weeks pregnant, not a meh week at all, because this week is the week that my little bump reaches viability, which basically means that were I to go into labour now, please no, don't let me, but were I to, as far as the medical profession are concerned, the baby is viable and they will give baby every fighting chance, and the baby will have enough of the kind of key things going on that it needs to survive, obviously with a lot of help. But yeah, it's just a nice feeling to think that we've kind of reached this point. Obviously this has been a running theme of like how anxious I am. I know there is no safe zone. You are never completely safe during pregnancy, but it is a very nice feeling to know that I have reached the point where baby is viable, which is exciting. Symptom wise at the moment, I'm gonna say symptom free, but then I'm gonna tell you a couple of symptoms. But basically what I'm saying when I'm saying I'm symptom free is the symptoms I'm having are very, very mild, not really bothering me particularly. I am still craving cheeseburgers like no tomorrow. I have not long had my lunch and I could totally eat a cheeseburger now. Like, all I want is cheeseburgers. I wake up in the night thinking about cheeseburgers. I've never ever known a craving quite like this, actually. In fact, I wouldn't even go so far as to say I've really ever craved anything in any of my pregnancies, but yeah, I really want a cheeseburger. I'm basically suffering from two differing kind of symptoms, but not at the same time. And I think it basically depends on whereabouts baby is sitting. So I have some days where I really need to go to the toilet loads. Like I almost feel like I'm going to the toilet every like hour or so, regardless of how much I have to drink. I just seem to want to go for a wee all the time. And I think that's when baby is sitting down really, really low. And then other days, I get days where I get the heartburn. I did mention heartburn 3 weeks ago in my last video. It's still relatively mild and not all the time, but it is bugging me a little bit. But I also get some days where I'm really breathless, and I think that the baby must be some days just sitting really up high and like right up in my ribs by my lungs, because some days I'm absolutely fine and I'm, like I said, all my only symptom is that I feel like I need to go for a wee all the time. And then other days literally walking up the stairs gets me out of breath, and yeah, I feel really, really breathless. I'm definitely going to flag the breathlessness with the midwife when I see her again in a few weeks, because I do know from experience that breathlessness can be a sign of low iron, which is something historically I have suffered from in pregnancy. So I am going to keep an eye on it. At the moment it's not like really serious breathlessness or anything, but I'm definitely, yeah, feeling a little bit breathless some of the time. And I would say the only other symptom that I have had lately kind of ties back to the cheeseburgers is in the last week or so I have definitely noticed a real increase in my appetite. I would say that I'm hungry more often, but it's not so much that, it's just that when I am hungry I feel like I want more substantial food. So normally I'm kind of like a cereal for breakfast girl, and then I'll have like crackers or something at lunchtime, and then like a proper like hot dinner. But I'm finding at the moment that I'm having my cereal, but then about an hour later I'm kind of like, I kind of eat some toast as well now. And I'm finding that at lunchtime I'm really craving like a hotter meal, so I'm kind of trying to eat things like couscous and soups and stuff that feels a little bit more substantial, a little bit more filling, because I definitely feel like I am hungrier lately. Excitingly, in the last couple of weeks we basically got Christmas out of the way, and once I kind of removed Christmas from our house, I feel like it's a little bit of a new year kind of cliche, isn't it, like wanting to refresh and renew. But I've kind of got this thing in my head now, like I'm having a baby this year, and it's very exciting, and I suddenly really want to get prepped for baby. Basically, with Dylan and Everly, we didn't know what we were having, so we had gender neutral newborn stuff, so it suited both of them. But by the time I was pregnant with Quinn, most of it went to charity because it was a bit bobbly and just a bit old, and it was just kind of looking a bit tired for a third use. So Quinn had mostly new stuff when she was born. So this is why my husband wanted to find out what we were having, because we don't know what we're having. If the baby is a girl, she is all set because I have got a box of beautifully laundered and folded baby grows, all good to go. However, I went through them, and bar about 2, they are all a bit girly for a boy. So if it's a boy, I don't really have anything. So what I have done is I have bought a couple of bits. I've not bought very much because obviously if this baby's a girl, like I said, I'm all set. And if it's a boy, I'm just gonna have to go out shopping when he is born and buy bits and pieces then. But that's not gonna help me with the hospital bag situation and the early days. So I have bought some tiny bits. I'm gonna show you because who doesn't love to see cute tiny baby clothes? The first thing I've got is a little pack of, is it a pack of 4 sleep suits that came from Next, and they are in they're white and they've got different patterns on. So there's like a cloudy pattern, there's like a spotty stripy one, there's a plain white one, and I think it's got like a little cloud on it that says hello, and then there's a starry one. I bought these in the up to 1 month size, which is up to £10. Now, all of my kids did initially wear newborn clothes. They were all kind of in the £7 and £8 region. So I'm kind of anticipating this one is going to be about the same, but I just know that you get a lot more wear out of the up to 1 month ones. I still haven't dug out the tiny baby box, so I'm going to check what the state of play is with that. I think there might be a couple of white tiny little bits that are in newborn size that I might be able to reuse, and if there aren't, then I mean, it kind of looks cute when they're in clothes that are a little bit big, doesn't it, because it makes them look dinkier. So yeah, this was one cute little set that I got, and then I have been reminded how incredibly uninspiring it is to shop when you are team yellow. Now, I love being team yellow. I'm thrilled to be team yellow. I chose to be team yellow. But when you're looking to just buy baby grows and stuff, everything seems to be, I mean, it's not gone are the days of like everything is white or pink or blue. You can get loads of colours now, but they still seem to be really gendered. So you can get some like real bright kind of primary coloured stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, that's great. And then you'd notice that it had like cars or rockets or dinosaurs on, or it had like flowers, and why do they have to add that? But anyway, I did manage to find these, which I thought were still, I mean, they're still white basically, but they were a little bit more interesting. And these ones came from Mothercare. They were in a little 3-pack. So there is a white one with some smiley faces and little yellow sunshines on. Then there's a grey one that says shiny and happy. And then another white one, and it's got things like happy, yippee, hooray written on it. Now these, I feel like these are like true gender neutrals. Like sometimes you pick up gender neutral stuff and you think, that would definitely suit a boy or a girl better, but I feel like these would genuinely suit either. I bought these in 0 to 3 rather than the up to 1 month, just because I thought I might get a little bit more wear out of them that way. And these ones were from Mothercare if anybody's interested. So I talked a little bit about the beginning, about the fact that baby is now viable, but also baby has, since I did my last video, has broken the pound marker. Baby is weighing in now about 1 1/3 pounds. So they're quite, you know, a good amount of weight going on, although obviously still got a bit more to gain. And the baby is about a foot long, so that's like a good length of baby now. The only other thing that I feel like is really worth a mention this week is the fact that I am suddenly getting loads and loads more movement. I feel like this baby is already in a bit of a pattern of when the baby moves. Like, they talk, don't they, a lot about the fact that your baby will have their own individual pattern of movement. I never really noticed it with my previous three. They kind of moved when they moved, and when they didn't move, I didn't really think about it particularly. But this one has definitely got like a real routine of when he or she moves. So mid-morning, when I've done kind of all my jobs around the house, I tend to have a sit down with Quinn, and baby tends to be mega wriggly then. They also tend to be really mega wriggly when I drive the car on the school run in the afternoons, and then very wriggly again kind of in the evening when I first sit down to watch sort of television or eat my dinner or whatever, and then again really wriggly when I very first go to bed. I think that time in particular is when they're most wriggly, and I think that is because I've obviously spent the whole evening sat, and then I suddenly go to a lying down position, and they suddenly feel like they've got so much more space to like stretch out. So I tend to find that at bedtime they have a really good wriggle while they kind of get settled and starfish, ready for the night. I am loving all the movement, to be honest. As I said at the beginning, I've made no secret of the fact that I am feeling very anxious this pregnancy, and I am very worried all the time about everything. It's just very comforting to get those kicks and wriggles, and it's definitely helping a anxious mummy feel a little bit better. I do feel like now it feels like quite a long time since I last saw the midwife. For anybody that doesn't know, when you are on your second or subsequent pregnancies, they basically don't see you as much. I think because they figure that you maybe don't need watching as much, and that maybe you are more likely to know what's going on with your body a little. I don't know, but anyway, they don't see you as much. So I last saw my midwife at, I think it was like 16 and a half, 17 weeks I think it was, and I'm not seeing her again now until 26 and a half weeks pregnant, which is like a really substantial amount of time. And I know I've had my 20-week scan in the meantime, and I know the baby's wriggling and stuff now, but I definitely am kind of getting that desire now to just check in and know from a professional that everything seems okay. I like want to hear baby's heartbeat. I want that Doppler on my tummy. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm just ready to check in with somebody now. I guess all that is left to do now is to show you the bump, which has definitely grown since last time. Okay, so I think compared to last time, there's definitely a bump here now. Okay, let's just show you. So, that is the bump from the side. And there it is from the front. It's definitely, I think, seems really, I think I've said this every time, really rounded at the bottom. But yeah, there's my bumpity bump. If you've got any questions or anything that you would like to know, please do leave questions down the bottom. I will be happy to either answer them down there or to answer them in a video. And I will see you again very soon for another update. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.